It's Monday, and we've got another episode of Monday Mood. What episode is this? Are these even episodes?
Episode
4? Yes, it is episode 4. Wave. Okay, so we're sitting quite far back. So we're doing this on my phone, and we're sitting quite far back from it. So if we can't see questions and stuff, we're gonna have to come get really close and up in your face, and I'm sorry about that.
Hello, Amy. Thank you for joining. Hi, Louise.
Hey, Louise.
Thank you for joining.
Hope everyone's doing well. Doing things at home, doing things that you enjoy, finding time to do things that you maybe didn't have time for before.
Yeah.
Doing well with your projects. We know that deadlines are coming up, and we're sure you're all going to smash it and do well.
Yeah, and just think of it as a push and stretch, the final stretch, because, you kind of want to end it with a bang,
Yeah, bang, pop. Also, summer's coming, and I'm excited about that. The weather has been so good. I've been enjoying that so much.
Oh, we're really good.
We're good.
Well. We're healthy. We are enjoying ourselves and being at home and just trying to do what we kind of wanted to do for the longest time. So crafts and stuff. But yeah, we're really good.
I'm just waiting to see. I think so. So Hannah's gonna be coming in from the AUBSU Instagram channel, and today we're gonna be talking about positive social media and kind of avoiding comparing yourself and stuff, just to make sure that you've got positive vibes in your face.
Yeah, so we're gonna share some of the people that we've been looking at on social media, or some people that we follow who inspire us and who we've kind of just been keeping an eye on because they're doing cool stuff. So we're gonna be chatting with Hannah. Oh my pajama button. We're gonna be chatting with Hannah.
Stella came to work in her pajamas, guys.
It's all about illusions. We're going to be chatting to Hannah about what she's been looking at, and we're going to share some of the people that we've been looking at personally. Oh, I think she's here.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So if we just
I can hear you. Can't see you.
Can you see me?
Can't see you yet. You're a buffering wheel of doom. By the end of this, we're going to be talk show hosts. We're going to have our own YouTube channels.
Hi guys.
Have our own vlogs.
Welcome to my
Just gonna have to keep Monday Mood going.
Yeah, somehow. I mean, it's really nice to be able to share some stuff and just hear back from you guys about what you thought about the episode. If we can connect with you guys this way, then we are more than happy to keep doing it.
Yeah. Also, we've lost Hannah. Don't know what's going on. We're gonna wait for her to send another request and hopefully get them in. Fingers crossed. If not, it's just gonna be us.
Louise is please keep them going. Okay, let's try this again.
What's gonna happen? Yes, maybe.
Waiting.
Ooh, we're buffering. Hey.
Yes, you're here.
Is it gonna work?
Oh no.
Oh. Well, while we're waiting to see if this is gonna work, how are you doing, Stella?
I'm good. I'm hot at the moment. Put the heating on, but it's really.
I felt that when I woke up, because obviously my radiator's right next to the bed. So I woke up and was like, "What is?"
Am I sick? But yeah, no, it was really cold. So I had to put that on. Hello, Sam, Graham. Oh my God, there's so many people.
Welcome. Bring it in. Hope you all been doing well. Let us know how you're doing.
One more try.
I'll try this again, please. Come on.
I can do this. I mean, the first time I could hear her, so.
Let's see what happens. I mean, the internet has been playing all kinds of games. Is that
Hannah?
Hannah?
You think?
your voice sounded quite deep there.
Hello?
I can see you, but it's not working.
Is it not?
We can hear you though.
What if you try from a different? Are you trying from your phone or from a?
Well, we had this last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
It just doesn't like this for some reason.
Just don't know what's going on.
I mean, what would you like to do? Because we can hear you, so we are still able to have a conversation.
Can anyone watching? Can you hear Hannah as well, or is that just us that can hear Hannah? Because I don't know. I'm no tech guru.
Oh, can you guys hear Hannah? If you could just
give us a thumbs up or a wave if you can hear Hannah. Give us a sign.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Okay.
I guess you're gonna have to be a blank screen, Hannah.
Great. This is going really well.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you happy to go ahead?
Yeah, it's fine. You don't need to see my face anyway.
I mean.
But anyway, we'll continue.
We'll continue as planned. Okay, so we were saying that we're going to be talking today about positive social media, positive influences, making sure that you're exposing yourself to things that make you happy. See.
Yeah, this kind of bounces off from the conversation that we had, Ruth, who mentioned that, if you don't want to see stuff, and if there's stuff on social media that's kind of like bringing you down, the best way to kind of like get yourself to a better place is to take yourself away from that. Face your attention towards stuff that makes you happy, that brings you joy and positive energy. So I think today is just like a chat, isn't it, about what's kind of like kept us going, what stuff that we look at on social media that kind of like give us inspiration. And we're just going to share it with each other. And then hopefully if you guys have anything, you can also comment on the post that is on the Small Things Matter page. Just share what you guys have been looking at and what you've been up to. So yeah,
cool.
Just a quick chat.
Awesome. So Han, did
Yes.
you want to talk about some of the things that you've been looking at, or some of the inspirations that you've been kind of following up with and looking at recently?
Yeah, love to. So I am really inspired by nature and kind of the organic sort of life. And I would say that I'm a real beauty seeker. So like I feel like I need that to inspire me. So a lot of what I follow is sort of around nature and also words as well. So I like the combination of words and imagery together. I find that really impactful. So they're probably the ways that I feel inspired generally. And yeah, I think for me, creativity is all about, communicating something, communicating a message in some way. And that is, what forms our connection with others, isn't it? And I think that for me, that's sort of the inspiring thing. So as much as I'm inspired by, how I receive the inspiration for what I'm enjoying and doing, I'm also inspired by how that connects me to other people as well. So that's probably a bit about how I suppose I tick, really. So I'm following quite a few nature stuff. So I'm following for Ford Abbey and Gardens, and they just post really lovely pictures of nature and their gardens, and they kind of like do quite a bit of poetry with what they post as well. So it's just really nice in the way that the words just kind of bring the picture to life. That's probably one. Another one that I enjoy following and find inspiring is Morgan Harper Nichols, and she is a visual artist. Hey,
cool name.
Yeah, she's a visual artist who uses words, and she's really inspiring. And particularly her use of colour as well, and the way that she's used her programs to kind of magnify the words that she's using. And what's cool there is that she's using real stories to actually inform her work and then communicate that back. So she's the link in, you know, a series of stories, really. So that's really inspiring. And then also an artist called Alorna, Alexandra Alorna, I think her name is. We'll share these on our story anyway. She's an illustrator, and her bio says illustrator and a regular sleeper. She's someone that I just happened to come across, and she does a really lovely overlap with imagery and words again, and it's all about her she's quite raw, and communicates sort of her feelings through her work, and I'm really impacted by that kind of artist as well. So that's probably my three that I follow. So I'll tag those afterwards.
Awesome, it sounds cool. I think just what you said about colour as well. So everyone may have noticed the weather has been so good.
Apart from that one.
Apart from that one Saturday.
But we'll let that go.
We were saying about colour and stuff. So like on the walks that we've been having and things like that, and daily exercise, I've been noticing, like, you know, the small things like, you know, the sun shining through leaves or little flowers in the grass, and, you know, just like really little things that I kind of dotted around that just look really lovely this time of year. And also the sunshine and the daylight have really helped with that, because I'm definitely someone who wakes up more positive when the sun's coming in through the window.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Having those dark days when it's cloudy outside and you open the curtain and it's dark, I just want to go back into bed.
Yeah.
Like maybe like the being able to go outside is like you really appreciate the time and you kind of slow down a bit. Like when we went for a walk to a park, and we literally had a conversation about the way that the grass was growing on the surface, like on the earth, because the earth was so dry that you could see like each single piece of, like, it was just like those tiny things that you don't usually notice, but it's so particular because you're paying attention to where you're at and like how you're feeling that moment. So I can definitely understand why like that, like looking at images of like those things within nature can be inspiring, like when you're in it as well.
Exactly. It's especially where, you know, at the moment some of us are struggling to experience the things that we're inspired by, and you can't replace being somewhere and experiencing something. So yeah, I think just filling your feed with inspiring things that, you know, maybe you want to do more of after, or things you're missing out on at the moment, then that can be quite helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's some really good tips there, especially with like kind of related to making sure that you're seeing things that make you happy.
Yeah.
So like
to
keep that up. How about you? Which creatives or people have you been taking inspiration from?
When we kind of had the conversation about what we wanted to chat about today, I don't know, for me it was a bit difficult to just like choose one person. But then we were talking, and then like I mentioned the fact that I have all of these like saved folders of things that inspire me. So like I have people that I wanted to kind of suggest, but I just thought that's something to share, that if you have like things that you see on your social media and you kind of want to keep like a pocket in like your memory book, what I do is that I kind of like compartmentalize them. And I put them in different folders of things that sort of like, that I like, things that are just like nice to look at, things that I kind of want to go back to and like work on. So from that, I could pick one person who is a Malawian poet, and her name is Upile Chisala. And her page is just literally her practice. She's a writer and she writes like short haiku like poems. And she just like what we were talking about earlier as well, like the colors, like it's something that I really like. They're quite warm and they're quite like inviting. And she also like leaves little like texts of what she's written and stuff that are quite inspiring, which is, it's really weird hearing you say what you said, because I'm like, oh my god, me too. So for example, I just picked this randomly, but it says, I hope you never stop talking about your dreams and what you want out of this beautiful life. So like little things like that, where it will probably just be on your feed, and then it's like, oh, it's nice to have something like that. So I would recommend Upile Chisala, and she's got books as well that if you like to read short poems, you can actually like look into that. And then there's this other artist who has been popping up actually. So I think a lot of the like the artists that I follow, like all fellow art students on my Instagram, we're posting this person, and I actually found it really fun and quite playful. So his name is Max, or their name is Max Cien. Maybe, but we'll link their page as well. So they did a Home Alone challenge when the lockdown was put in place, and they just challenged people to like take pictures of like these challenges. So for example, so sit on your partner's shoulders for a better view. So that was a challenge, and then people send pictures of themselves doing or completing this challenge. So they're really like playful, really quick, easily doable at home, but they're kind of bringing people together and connecting people. And like I scroll through my feed, I see this, and it's like entertainment for me, but it's also fun. So that's another person that I'd recommend. So
yeah, that's so good. So good.
The good thing about that is it's like imaginative, and it's also like an action as well, isn't it? So you know, it's engaging people by doing something.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do it.
No, but they're really fun to kind of see how people are reacting to it.
Yeah.
So even if we aren't doing them ourselves,
you can imagine like yourself in that situation. Yeah. Like, yeah, I have that object. That I could have done that in my own house and stuff. So yeah, those are my two recommendations, I guess. Yeah. What about you?
I only have the one, I'm afraid. However, I can go into depth.
You're gonna do it to death.
All into the depth. So I think a lot like yourself, Hannah, I really like organic, like natural materials and things. So kind of when I'm out and about on a walk, or I haven't been on a run, because I'm not even going to try and lie about that. So when I'm going for a walk, like, at whatever point in the day, it's usually in the evening, and I take a bag with me and keep an eye on like things like sticks or fallen branches, flowers, just little things that are out and about. And an artist that a friend in photography pointed in my direction recently was Rebecca Desnos, who is an artist who specializes in making natural dyes from things that you'd find outside. So things like pine cones or nettles, even avocados, which is something I recently found out and blew my mind.
Yeah, so the page is really
and we will share better images. We did try and work out a way, didn't we? But we couldn't find a way.
I couldn't screen share while doing live, but we'll share everything in the story afterwards. And what's really cool about Rebecca is that they have a blog which you can access that gives you like the instructions and the recipes to how to make these dyes and stuff. So we've been looking at that a lot more. So for example, at the moment, I've got a pot of nettles in the kitchen, sitting in water, trying to kind of get the color out of them. Thing is, I looked at the instructions after I started it, and like within 5 minutes I'd already done it wrong. But I'd started it and thought, well, I've got to run with it now, see where we get. So I've been enjoying kind of trying to make dye. Also trying to use things that I've got in the house. So I do a lot of macrame, so I have lots of cut-offs that I use after I finish making the piece. And I've been trying to find ways to try and finish those off. So I've made like tiny coasters or... Do I prefer that? So just like little things like this, just to try and use up like bits of materials that we've got lying around. I haven't really been doing that.
Very good coastering.
Coastering skills.
Coastering.
Cool.
So yeah, I think that's what I've been doing. I think what's also really good about what this artist does, like, everything that they get is really accessible and easy to do at home. Like, you don't need specialist equipment or like all of these complicated materials. You like literally out on a walk and like pick up some nettles on the way, and just put them in a pot with some boiling water and make a dye in a few hours. And it's like really accessible. And it's quite nice to be able to see something on your Instagram feed and think, I could literally, I have these materials, I can do this.
Yeah, rather than it being out of reach.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's also something else that would be really good to talk about, is like saying kind of about like comparing yourself.
Yeah.
And about kind of having that, always thinking that you need to be productive all the time. So personally, I'm someone who likes to kind of make things and constantly make things. And if I can't make something, can I make something and find something to do it with? And that's kind of how I tick. Obviously, not everyone's like that. And I think for some people, it is just a case of exposing yourself to things that do make you happy on your feed, because I certainly do that. And a friend of mine recently went through their Instagram and unfollowed pages and accounts that they thought were bringing them down. So they were surrounding themselves with things that they wanted to see that did kind of brighten up their day.
Yeah.
Well, like you were saying, like if you're scrolling through and then you see a really positive quote, it kind of, it feels nice.
Yeah. And also I think it's good to remember that as much as everything is kind of focused and like pushed online at the moment, it's okay if you want to get away from that. So for example, I have moments where I'm like, I'm not going to go on my Instagram for the whole day, and I'll give myself 1 hour. And that works for me because it allows me to like focus on my day and what I actually want to get done, as opposed to as kind of like what you were saying, comparing yourself to other people and what they're doing and being like, oh, maybe I should be that productive or productive in that way. So like taking a break as well from social media is really good, and it allows you to kind of like get back in touch with you as opposed to what's out there as well. So it's kind of like that give and take thing. So there's a balance, there's a 50-50 balance that kind of I would recommend that you try and maintain, because it is easy sometimes to start comparing yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if you
it is that feeling of you're going through and you kind of see something like, oh, look at all of this stuff that everyone else is making with what they have, and then like I think Hannah, you were saying that you can feel bad if you can't do that, because you can't you can't have the same level of productivity.
I think some of the questions that I'd probably, or some of the flags maybe that would just show whether you're kind of like tipping that edge of like self-bombardment, is like if you notice yourself comparing yourself a lot, or sort of getting frustrated with yourself, or overloading maybe expectations, or even like you're saving so many things and you're thinking you're going to do all of these things, and that's actually ends up being unrealistic and therefore demotivating. So I think it's just recognizing when those things start to happen in you, and then knowing, okay, so I'm going to need to just cool it a little bit, or monitor your time online. I think, like you said, Stella, it's especially important at the moment, given that everything we're doing to connect is online. And then probably the other thing that might be a helpful way of gauging it is whether your output reflects your input. So I think it was really good, Jordan, what you said about, it being accessible, the person that you like to follow, and something that you can easily do, and you are doing that. You are doing things yourself to create, from that inspiration. And sometimes we can sort of take in a lot, but actually that can stifle our output if it's not sort of paced well. So that's maybe another way to kind of gauge, whether your motivation is moving into action.
I think that's definitely And I think what you do on Instagram as well, by making folders for yourself. So if you do see things you do like that, you do want to kind of put aside. Think being able to do that and put it somewhere where it's going to be safe, so you can go back to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's about kind of not giving yourself any pressure or time restriction to be like, okay, I've got that there, and I've got to do it in the next week or two.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about saving it is that it's there. You're not going to lose it.
Yeah.
So you can go back to it at any point. And there's no pressure. There's no pressure.
Yeah, literally.
To do anything.
And it's honestly for you, because it's not a case of, you know, you're putting it somewhere so that it shows up on your feed again and stuff. It's literally what you like, and you start to kind of like see a trend, and like your personality will show through all the stuff that you're saving and putting aside and stuff. And as you said, it's not for you to do anything with. You can choose to do something with it, or you can just choose to like have those nice images to go back to, and because you know they make you feel good.
So relating to sourcing inspiration and avoiding like over comparing yourself, what's a tip that you would give?
Inspiration. I really touched on it in that for me, I kind of like to take a break and like get away from things that aren't bringing me joy. I think everyone knows when they start to feel a bit like, ooh, like, you know, I wish I was doing that, or that person's doing that. And like sometimes it's not that obvious, but I think you start to feel it, and it's quite demotivating. I'm not being productive. So what I do is I take a break, or I step away from like anything that's quite discouraging for me, and I focus on myself and the then me. So for example, taking a day off social media, giving myself like an hour and focusing on what's around me and what space I'm in, kind of helps me. And yeah, I've got a couple of friends who kind of have gone through the same stuff, and like taking a break from social media is probably like their way of handling it as well. So that's what I do. But yeah,
sounds good. I think kind of having it in yourself to be like, okay, maybe I've been online too much today, and like, oh, maybe I should like do something to connect with myself and kind of have that oneliness, which is something we talked about last week.
Yeah, we've got some resources on the website for that as well, so do have a look at that.
Yeah,
so that's helpful.
What about you, Han? What's like one tip you would give for sourcing inspiration and avoiding over comparing?
I think you mentioned about it just being something that brings out the best in you, really, something that encourages you. I think it's really important to just value yourself, and someone else's successes don't have to be your own self-doubt. And I think that can be quite easy to without knowing it, you can quite easily self-doubt and hold yourself back from creating your own stuff and being yourself. And I think that keeping kind of healthy admiration of other people, but also you can be yourself too.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point about if you do see something you enjoy, it's not that you have to do it as well. You can appreciate the things that someone else is doing and kind of enjoy that they're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of supportive network, isn't it? Of, oh, I really like what they're doing. Yeah. It's really nice to see.
Yeah.
And also maybe like if you've got friends and stuff that are sharing posts either on whatever social media platforms and you like them as well, go and give them a follow, give them a like, give them some support, and just surround yourself. Yeah.
Like, it's really nice to hear appreciate what you're doing, and they actually have the time to write something to you and be like, oh my god, I'm really enjoying this, or cool post.
And you'll get that back, won't you, as well? People will give that back to you, like you're saying, Stella. It's like give and receive.
Yeah.
What
about you?
I think what I would say is it's kind of a mixture of the three. Is of the three. Wow, my maths isn't here. it's good to kind of understand what you do like and what you like when you've got time alone. And I think with things as they are, one of the best kind of opportunities to have some time alone, if you're able to, is if you do use your daily exercise or daily hour outside, just to have a look for things that you might be able to bring back with you and like bring the outside in. So like we picked some grass the other day.
It's right there.
Just over there. There's just like what natural things or natural wonders are kind of out there that you can maybe play with at home or find things to do with, like painting stones, for example. So I think bring the outside in, or spend some time when you are outside, just kind of allow yourself to kind of mentally wander and be amazed and be inspired by the outside.
And I guess that will allow you to sort of sink into what the current situation is, as opposed to kind of constantly thinking about what could be. Like, just enjoy what your experience is now, which means, the times that you're spending alone or the times that you're spending with yourself, and what you can do with the limitations that are around, which is bringing the outside in, as Jordan Bennett says.
Bringing the outside in.
Love that.
I think that's Monday mood.
Yeah. So sorry that you couldn't see my face, but we'll share everything we'll share on the screen, won't we? The things that we've been talking about, so people can see.
Definitely. Also, if anyone watching has any idea or inspirations that you want to tell people about, let us know and we can share those too.
Yes.
Make one big network of inspiration.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thank you
for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Take care, everybody. Look after yourself.
Thanks for watching.
Okay. Oh.